Are all men abusive? That's the question. I see so many videos, nowadays on TikTok, on YouTube, etc., from women generalizing, saying all men are abusive, all men are toxic, all men live in follow the patriarchy, and they see women as objects to be used. And you know what? The first red flag is when you hear someone generalizing an entire gender by, saying they are this, they are that. That's the red flag. Because when you generalize like this, and it goes both ways also, if you hear men generalizing, saying all women are like this, this generalization is pushing an agenda of the person who is talking. So it suits their agenda, it suits their needs. So that's the red flag, because this is not healthy, and I'll tell you why. Because we cannot generalize like this. That's because it's simply not true. Yes, there are abusive men. Yes, there are men who see women as objects. Yes, there are men who use women, who don't care anything about women, who just see them as objects to be used for their own benefit. Yes, absolutely. They exist. Those type of men exist. They are so-called, egotistical, some are narcissists, selfish, whatever you want to call it. Yes, they exist. They manipulate women. They get what they want. They discard, etc. But it's a specific type of men that do that. It's all men? No, absolutely not. No, it's not all men. Because saying that all men are like that because they were raised in the patriarchy and because it's ingrained in their minds, it's basically saying that all men are dumb, all men are stupid, all men are dumb. They don't have a brain, they don't have intelligence to think different or too different. Because believe it or not, the patriarchy doesn't suit all men. It hurts men as well as hurts women. It hurts men, and there are a lot of things that the men who follow the patriarchy are hurt by it, and it doesn't help them at all. So, and there are men who choose different. Even if they were raised in a patriarchy, they have the ability to disconnect from that and to do different and to choose different from their lives. Yes, and there are men who respect women, believe it or not, and there are good men. So why is the women doing these videos, and why they are saying those things? Because they're hurt. Yes, that's the truth, because they're hurt, because it's easier, and this goes for both men and women, not just women, but it's easier for someone, to blame others instead of take accountability for their past choices, because, and when I say take accountability for our choices, it's not to blame ourselves. It's not to put the blame on us. It's not a matter of blaming anyone. It's a matter of take accountability for what was the patterns, the templates, the energy that we were in, that allowed us or made us accept a certain type of men, a certain type of behavior in our lives, to be treated a certain way. Because a lot of times it has to do with your trauma, with your own trauma, with your own patterns, with what is familiar to you, the way you were raised. It has to do with a lot of the energy you are in. So you accept certain things. It has to do with, for example, also lack of self-worth, people pleasing, codependency, all those things made you accept a certain type of people, a certain type of men. And not just in romantic relationships, probably you accepted those type of people also in friendships, in work, in other scenarios as well, because usually it reflects in a lot of things, not just romantic relationships and not just men. Because I can promise you that a lot of those women who accepted those types of abusive men also had abusive friendships, also were in work, also used to work in the scenarios of certain type of men. And not just in romantic relationships, probably you accepted those type of people also in friendships, in work, in other scenarios as well, because usually it reflects in a lot of things, not just romantic relationships and not just men. Because I can promise you that a lot of those women who accepted those types of abusive men also had abusive friendships, also were in work, also used to work in the scenarios that had toxic people, abusive people, and they let be abused. So it's not just men. And a lot of times they were also abused by women as well. So it's not about the man being abusive. It's about the energy you were in that attracted and you accepted those types of people. So when you wake up and you realize that those things, it's time to heal. It's time to take accountability, to address those issues so you can heal and you can move on to a better life, to attract other types of people, to attract better people, better men, better relationships, better friendships, better clients, better co-workers, whatever it is. So that's the path. What happens is a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in that part when they wake up and they don't want to heal. They don't want to do the inner work to heal, because that takes accountability. That takes responsibility for your choices, for your life. And that is hard to do. It's hard because it hurts. It hurts you because you have to look at you. You have to look at your patterns, your toxic traits as well, your shadow self. And that hurts. But it's the only way through. It's the only way through. There's no way around it. And yes, there will be a time when you wake up to this and you will feel angry. You will feel angry at men. You will feel angry, at people that treat you wrong. But it's just a place it's just a stage. It's just a phase. It's not a place to park for the rest of your life. But what happens with these women, a lot of these women, if they do these videos, is that they park there for the rest of their lives. They don't move on, because it's much easier to blame men than it is to take accountability for my choices. So it's much easier to say, all men are like that. All men are like that. Yeah, I'm amazing. All men are like that. The reason why I accepted those men is because all men are like that. Is so much easier. Then take accountability and say, no, I had certain patterns. That's why I accepted them. That's why I attracted them, right? And then they say things like, oh, all men are evil, all men are toxic, and the ones who seem to be good men, it's just a matter of time until they show their true colors. They're just pretending. Oh my God, this is like a way of thinking, again, to blame others, to blame men instead of taking accountability. Because yes, there are good men, but they won't appear in your reality if your focus is on all men are bad, or men are hurt women, all men, they won't appear in your reality. You will continue to attract more of the same because it's where you focus. So it just confirms your reality. It's a form of self-sabotaging. Because you are focusing on those types of men, that's what appears in your reality. Even if there are good men around, you won't see them. So if your goal it's if you believe that is good man, and yes, you can have a healthy and loving relationship, you need to heal. You need to take accountability, and you need to take the car off that parking space when it's time, so you can move on and you can attract a man who thinks different, who is different from the types of men in your past. Yes, because they exist, and it's only when you heal and you move on and you take accountability, then you're going to start seeing them, because you shift the focus. You're not focusing on men are all bad, men are all this and that. No, you start to focus on what you truly want and what you truly desire. And that's what happens. You stop being weak. You stop being vulnerable, and you stop being weak, and you start to connect with your power, to be discerning and see when a man is abusive and say no, and wait for the man who is a good man and treat you right. But there's no other way to do this but heal and take accountability for your life. And that's the road less traveled, but it's the road that will take you to where you want to go. Ladies, if you want to embody your feminine energy and connect with your feminine energy and live a more soft and feminine you in life, and release, let go of unhealthy masculine traits, let go of struggle, and start really living the beautiful life you deserve, get my book, my best selling book, Embody Your Sensual Feminine Energy, where you get to know how to start this journey. The link is in the description of this video. Have a nice day.